This meeting is being
Welcome
recorded.
everyone. We know very well that in our life, every journey starts with a very single step, and we have to take that very first step to complete our journey. And it is important to mention here that with our dedication, good decisions, and actions, we make our journey beautiful and exemplary. And in our series of SIP, Story of Impressive People, we are honored and happy to say that Respected S Appavoo Sir, who has experience of more than 40 years, has accepted my request to be here. And now time to invite Maha Legend. Again, I am repeating Maha Legend S Appavoo Sir. And let's start the dialogue with Rajesh. And sir, Vanakam, first of all, respected sir.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, sir. I am not a Maha legend.
You are.
You are saying that you are still learning. I am also learning.
No. And sir, as I start with a small brief, kindly give me a brief description of your beautiful journey and what did you learn in this beautiful journey so far?
Oh, fine. First of all, I would like to thank and congratulate you and people like Patnaik, etc. They are all beyond your office works. You are all consistently making efforts. Especially, I should thank COVID also, because of which we have all got roped in. And stalwarts and Maharajan like Ramachandranji, K.K. Murthy sir, P.P. Wahi, then Rajamani sir, Patki sir. So many people we have been roped in to see because of your efforts and Patnaik efforts. I thank you all for this first.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you
for your words of appreciation. Thank you once again. And let's start with your brief description of your journey because we are very excited and enthusiastic to learn.
So first of all, I would like to say that I am rising from a small village in Tanjavur district. You may be aware of Kaveri and Chola Kingdom. I am rising from that Delta region in Tanjavur district of Tamil Nadu, from a small village. I am an agricultural family, and I am the first engineer for our village in 50s. I born in 1957, and I studied my schooling in my native government school, and then went to for PVC. In those days, it was PVC, and did my PVC after traveling a distance of around 50 to 60 kilometers. There were not much of colleges during those days. So I stayed in hostel. Then I did my PVC. I got selected in Alagappa Chettiar College of Engineering and Technology. It's a government college at Karaikudi, southern part of Tamil Nadu near Madurai. And the founder of that university is a very high personality, Dr. Alagappa Chettiar. He was close to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. They both studied in Cambridge at UK. And he was close to Rajendra Prasad's President of India also. So during foundation stage, he arranged for the Central Electrochemical Research Institute in Karaikudi. So Pandit Ji have laid a foundation tablet for that in 1948. And then Rajendra Prasad laid a tablet for our college. So this is a prestigious institution. As an alumni, I am running a trust involving all the people of my batchmates of 1980. We were 75 to 80 batch, 5 years course. And 1980, we visited we are all doing some expertise to the college still. After retirement, I am conducting some seminars, etc. And people of like-minded are doing from the different curricula. And one of our person I happen to see is a very dynamic and very big industrialist. With his assistance, I roped in all the people, and we built a mess hall, a state-of-the-art technology. We wanted to have so many things, but finally, what we felt is, in those days, we were having a very nice cuisine, and see, we have to develop our body. Then only we can survive. So in those days, we had a very good food and amenities. We found it missing. So what we have done is we started a big and a common mess hall for our project. That was around 3.75 crores. It was built at a cost of 3.75 crores. Of course, with the assistance of all my students, we are handing over that to our college students. 1,000 students can at a time take their lunch or tiffin, breakfast, dinner, and it's well maintained with modern kitchen and as well as some fountain in the around the mess hall to have a natural and five-star ambience.
Wow, wow, what a great journey you have covered. And sir, what was the point when you realized that yes, you have to do something for your electrical fraternity and you enter into that like inspectorate? That was through your choice or that
Yes.
happened accidentally?
Initially, I worked as a maintenance engineer. After my graduation, I joined in Enfield India. You might be aware of that company, Enfield India Limited. Those are very few companies. TVS and Enfield are very famous in our Ashok Leyland, previous companies in our state. I joined in as a maintenance engineer. After 1.5 years, I got relieved because they were asking me to join in the production wing because electrical wing doesn't have much scope. Then I got relieved myself because of, despite a career elevation, I rejected that option. I wanted to be in electrical person. Then I joined in public works department. In 82 to 83, I was in PWD as an electrical engineer. But you know, in PWD, it's dominated by the civil, and electrical will be a mini school in that major department. Something like a civil engineer cannot opt for a posting in electricity discount. Likewise, we electrical people should not have a career in major civil-oriented department. So I also opted out from PWD. Then during 1983, I joined the Electrical Inspectorate Services. And I was there till 2015 and retired as a Chief Electrical Inspector Department.
Wow.
I also
Can you share your
was
experience as an electrical inspector? Do you think the people in India ready to follow the safety regulations? What is your experience?
Yes. I think it requires a total change in the attitude of people. It's a, people means I don't say that common public. People include, actually it should be a people development. People means enforcers, contractors, discom, and lastly the consumer. For example, ELCB have been insisted in regulation since late 90s, but we are having so many households without ELCB, and they are all given service connections. So the thing is, people are not aware. They are able to buy a flat or home or construct a home at a cost of several lakhs or tens of lakhs of rupees. But the cost of ELCB is just 2,000 to 3,000 rupees because they are not aware. So it's a joint responsibility. We did not educate people to the core technical matters, but the enforcers and stakeholders, like contractors and discom and inspectors, should take a role in that thing. So what I would like to say is my experience in Japan when I visited and conducted a program. I presented a thing on designated consumers, energy intensive consumers as a safety auditor. At the final, I'm not going to delve much on the technical matter. At the final, they raised one question. I raised one question. Sir, in our state, we are having just less than 100 of energy intensive consumers. But it was very difficult to get the energy data from them. How do you get data in Japan? It's a very big industrialized state with several thousands of consumers, more than 7,000 during 2012. So now it could have gone up. I asked them, I wondered how you are getting. It was difficult for us to get it from just 50 to 60 people, industries. All are getting, they just told, see, We are just notifying. It is their fate to divulge the data. That was a condition. That's a people development. I mean the people development. Once they notify, people will have to abide by it. Then I again ask, suppose if they don't obey, what will be your further action? As an Indian mentality, I say this.
But that part is
Because,
missing in India, I think. That part is missing in
actually,
India.
yes, just 2%. I asked, they told that here also there are 2% of people. But here there are 98% of people. There it was only 2% of violators. It's everywhere there as a human. But I asked, what will you do under this 2%? They told, why should we do? They will be rejected by the people.
Wow.
This is the answer.
But
So
you
that
can't do that thing in India at all.
yes, yes. So the thing is, the basic thing is, development is actually a people development. People development that is required by all the stakeholders. Coming to the electrical inspector's role, I would like to say that it's a strong, what do you call, Article 21. I would like to quote the Article 21 of the Constitution, which gives a right to live for every citizen. And it is strengthened by the state policies. That is especially under Article 42 and 43, which defines a place under entry 6 and entry 38, list 2 and 3 of 7th schedule of the Constitution. That is, the state have to adopt safety measures. So this is the thing. But in spite of all this strong constitutional empowerment, we are seeing accidents day by day. Every day we are seeing accidents. I would like to say that accident at Upar Theatre, I think you may be aware of that Upar Theatre accident, cinema accidents, where nearly 40 to 50 people have succumbed to death and more than 100 people got injured. It was a eye-opener for the electrical fraternity. The simple thing was, the root cause for the accident was sheer negligence at the ST cable termination. It was done by...
True. That count was the eye opener, you know. Very true. Sir, but according to you, are the main causes of fire, coming to that point, especially in India, what do you think? Because you have investigated many accidents, what do you think are the main causes of fire and electrical accident in India, according to your experience of 40 years plus?
Yes. Actually, it's really heartening to hear electrical accidents and death daily. We are not especially safe in home. Most of the electrical accidents are from LT. I think from NCRB strategy shows that more than 12 to 13,000 accidents are happening every year. And nearly 40 to 45% occur in LT and ME installations. Just 2% are in, 40% 11 kV, and especially in conductor snapping. And just 2 to 3% in the installation of more than 11 kV. So I would like to say that electrical accidents are not treated on par with other accidents. It is treated as an act of God. It's not like that. Despite several judgments, the regulatory authorities do not strengthen implementation methodology to prevent recurrence of electrical fire and electrocution. For example, non-BAS branded products and fake products, wrong installation practices, and absence of pre-commissioning, as well as periodical tests and poor maintenance. Lastly, nothing but last but the least, the negligence on the part of individual or human error. These are the root causes. So actually, whenever such a major accident comes to the court, the Honorable Supreme Court have already delivered a judgment saying that conductor snapping is a strict liability. Strict liability comes into picture when the foreseeable risk inherent in the very nature of activity is involved. See, we are seeing a foreseeable risk. In that case, it is treated as a strict liability, and the stakeholders have to make the supply in such a safe way. We can't blame the public because of his negligence, he got electrocuted. So this is the thing. In spite of all these things, we are not at least giving a fair amount of compensation to the electrical victims, electrical accident victims. Unless, in my opinion, unless a strong enforcement of accountability is put in place, these type of actions are unavoidable. Actually, it need not be exercised fully by a government alone or government department alone. Strengthening the standards and accountability of licensed contractors, actual creation and assigning role to private electrical safety auditors for LT and MV installation, because this is a neglected area. HV installations are being periodically inspected. The regulation provides inspection of every premises not less than once in 4 years. But it is adapted for HV and EHV industries only, where people with very good awareness are already there. But the area is missing is LT and ME installation, where more accidents occur, where there are no inspection. This is the thing that we have to look into. As of now, I would like to say in short that Constitution should be adapted and even regulations should be adapted letter and spirit. We should bridge the gap between regulatory provision and actual implementation. Regulatory provision is there.
So you must have noticed that every report of fire or electrical accident start with short circuit. They blame short circuit for every fire and accident. What is your view on that?
Yes.
Is it true? Because you have investigated so many accidents so far.
Yes, actually, when there is no solution, people used to attribute the reason on short circuit.
Okay.
It's pathetic, but it's an international, not only in our country.
Okay.
It is an international way of reporting accidents.
Okay.
Putting the blame on electric. But of course, in a fire triangle, spark, that is heat, is attributed by electricity. So we have to safeguard. There is no what do you call the coordination between the control gear, breaker, and the load. The type of coordination is not there. So many things are occurring in our side also. And I have investigated on a major accident. It was a monument building, General Post Office, Chennai. It was completely gutted. After 3 months, it was inspected by the coming under the central authorities, and they invited the local electrical inspector. I visited there, and we have seen full of debris. After 3 months, it is very difficult to judge the accident. But accidents has its own what do you call it leaves some evidences that can be interpreted by the forensic department or electrical inspectors. We can know whether the fire has been caused by electricity or the electricity caused the fire or fire caused the electricity. Both are true, because we can't say that a wire because of burning might have caused the fire. Actually, the other case would also be possible. It all depends upon for example, you can see whether the conductor insulation has become malleable or the strands have busted out. In short circuit, the strands would have busted. There are so many evidences. Finally, what we have done is we have submitted a very big article on it, and it was tabled in Parliament. Some instructions were given to the government office on fire precaution measures. I would like to say that we can't ascertain the root cause of an accident, and we close the file with a saying that the ravaging fire extinguished. The ravaging fire extinguished the evidences, and the firefighting operations washed away the remains. So we had some speculation on from various people. So finally, it was the culprit was a wax heater, which was left unswitched off. So that was, but we couldn't attribute, because of doubt only we can't fix responsibility. Then we had instructed people to So the thing is, after the occurrence of accident only we are jumping into action. After that, we conveniently forgot those things. This scenario available throughout the country. You
Now
know that
coming to your
COVID
other aspects of experience, you are closely associated with energy efficiency measures and policy formation for your state. What was your contribution and what was your learning in that part?
yeah. Uh, I was the head of state designated agency for energy conservation in Tamil Nadu. I associated with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. I am myself an energy auditor. But now I am not collecting so many, I am not keeping a brush of myself with the energy conservation. I am concentrating on electrical safety. But however, what I can say is during my tenure, I formed one SME. For example, I formed one SME cluster of lime kiln in southern part of Tamil Nadu, involving 30 to 40 small industries. They were doing lime kiln. And what I would like to say is, I sent some auditors, they gave me so many recommendations. I visited the spot, and what I have done is, I increased the size of blower rating from 1 kilowatt to 2.2 kilowatt. It is not the decreasing the energy consumption. We have to optimize. You have to act as a owner of the premises when you visit as not an auditor. As a owner, you have to see. And what I have done is I increase. Thereby, I reduce the fuel burning time. It is a costly fuel made of local charcoal. It is costlier than even the Indonesian coal. But it was not a fully burnt and the air was not sufficient. So I increased the blower motor sizing. I provided UPS, 7.5 kVA UPS also for that. So after that, I reduced the production time. Previously, they were having just one shift. After this intervention, they formed two shifts. Then the rejects were also quality product was also improved. So we should see it in an out-of-box way how the facility can be improved. I didn't concentrate in the industry. There was a pulverizer motor 60 HP. People wanted a power optimizer or a VFD drive. I didn't take that. I concentrated on the small motor. The ultimate thing is here the energy is charcoal, not electricity.
Great,
So
great.
that cost have been
With
reduced and
small,
production have been
small
increased.
steps, we
So
can achieve big thing.
yes, so energy, what I can say is energy efficiency is cost effective. It's also environmentally benign, and it requires only low gestation to derive the benefit. Then why it didn't come up as expected? Because we Indians lack in using stick. As a head of a department, I was using carrot for this energy
Right,
efficiency
right,
and
right.
the stick
Carrot
for
stick policy
the
is a kind of good thing for Indian people. Yeah. Now, 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 presently, you are working as a freelancer and you doing so many fire safety audit, electrical safety audit. What are the issues and challenges do you face right now, and how do you overcome all these challenges?
Actually, an electrical safety audit is conducted by so many people in our country. I have seen so many reports, and what I would like to really say is that the facility requires some audit report. I can frankly say facility requires some audit report. I have done audit in leading medical installation. There are so many missing. Even the chairman of that company is not, of that hospital is not aware whether we require an IT system for the operation theater, whether we require a continuous monitoring system. So these are the things they are not aware. Only the maintenance engineer should know. But unfortunately, the maintenance engineer was also not aware. Then we called the biomedical engineer. They have some subject regarding MRI scan, EMA interference, and this neutral earth voltage, everything. But we held a joint meeting and appraised what are the things that is people are coming to the hospital to save their life. If there is some during aspiration, there is some leakage, there is no meaning. Actually, in our country, there is no reported accident in operation theaters, whereas US is doing. Some hospitalized, what do you call that, operation OT electrocutions are also there. We do not take it into account. But what I can say is, uh, be a jack of all and involve experts when you require. This is the general thing. You should be a jack of a few things and use correct meters. For example, people are invariably using 1000-volt multimeter to ascertain your 2-volt neutral to earth voltage. So have
True.
a proper meter
Sensitivity of
and have
instrument
a
is very important.
yes, and involve the. I should. What another thing I should say is the government, the Ministry of Power or CEA should produce safety auditors by conducting examination analogous with certified energy auditors. That should be there because inspectorate alone can't judge a person. Qualification is totally different. Actually, the study starts after qualification. It's totally different. They have to be refurbished. They should be ascertained whether they are in command of latest trend in that field. In such a way, the examination should be devised and eligible people alone should be given energy auditor certificate. Then only this system of safety audit will become fruitful to the
So the issue
facility.
is that all the testing and verification, whatever mentioned in IS 732, are not ever done by any utility or any consumers or any industry. There are problems.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now time to switch over to your power quality welfare consortium. For you are working for many years for ensuring harmonic mitigation in your state. Please say something about your role and action you have taken so far.
Oh, fine. Actually, there are like-minded people. Just like in the way where how I got involved with you, Patnaik ji, and so many people, I also got involved with like-minded people. There is a frequency making us to join together. Like-minded people can always join. So after my retirement, I joined with some like-minded people like Dr. A.D. Tirumalai and Ravichandran, Manas Kundu. These are people who are already doing tremendous job in power quality welfare. And with the
They
strategy
are in fact
implementation,
doing very tremendous job, no doubt.
yes, Ravichandran. Actually, after my joining with them, we raised, I just gave my input along with Manas. We are having so many regulations, so many standards, codes, etc. But we are not getting it implemented. There are still awareness to be created among the DISCOM people. When we see that the methodology of harmonic measurement itself was not correct by the DISCOM, we intervened and filed implemented ourselves in TNERC before TNERC. Then the methodology was got slightly appraised to the not fully appraised. We conducted tests and fully appraised. It should be as per IEC standards and measurement methodology, and all the protocol should be observed in testing. We appraised. Then by the meantime, yeah, case was filed by the one of the consumers. What we have done is we obtained some what do you call papers from the central authority and submitted to the regulatory commission to make the implementation in a very correct manner in Tamil Nadu. That's the thing what we have done. Yes.
Did you get any success in that in your action to mitigate the problems of harmonic in your state? Any achievement so far?
Yes, actually, that is what I told. The entire HSAC has been stalled by a single court, by a honorable high court, from an application filed by a consumer. So we are sorting it out. We have obtained the papers from the central authority through an RT petition. We have submitted that paper to the TANGEDCO and TNRC. I think after now it has been sorted out, they are yet to issue a regulation, a code, amendment to the TNRC code to implement the PQ welfare PQ measures in Tamil Nadu. It is yet to
Great, sir.
come.
Great. As I come to know through your resume that you are also doing some organic farming also. Kindly share your experience on that part.
Actually, I told that I am basically a farmer. Uh, in short, it's a very big subject like safety, but I can wind up in 1 or 2 minutes.
What kind of farming presently are you doing?
Yes, actually, I'm doing organic farming. In Tanjore, we have some alluvial soil. Alluvial soil is deficient of what do you call nitrogen, and it is abundant with potassium and other what do you call the microorganism. It is absence of humus. What do you call the humus? Humus means the plants after withering the plants will become the manure. So it will give rise to the organic microorganism in the soil. So enrichment of soil and study of soil should be appraised to the consumer. So what we are doing is we have procured some virgin land, not in Tanjore district, in Pudukkottai district, where cultivation was not there. Some virgin land where we can reach a red soil. So that's soil to soil differ the soil fertility. So it will be rich in nitrogen, but absence of potassium. So we have to manage. What in general what we are doing is we are finding the root cause from the existing natural nature. But we forget that nature always wins. For example, forest plants don't require fertilizers, insecticides. We have to understand the local soil nutrients and create conducive environment for microorganisms. Unless we create a conducive environment, we can't enrich soil. The conducive atmosphere means you provide plants or integrated farming. You have to grow cattle and chicken and ducks, everything, so that that manure will become a rich and earthworm that will become a rich. After some time, you will be cutting size down your input cost. Nearly 40% is going towards insecticides and fertilizers that we can cut short.
How do you
Of course,
manage between a safety engineers and a organic farmer? How do you balance both the thing?
see, when I go to act as a farmer, I will not touch all these. I will not post myself as an electrical engineer. I will post myself as a poor farmer. Then only they will be hearing my words. I will jump into the field and I will take picking of flowers or cutting the branches from moringa trees. Everything I will do. Then only they will be motivated. I can't show my might there.
Okay.
I have to be
Now many
conducive.
people are very curious to know about your personal life and family. Can you say something about so that the people can know about that part also of great legend?
Ah, mm, first of all, I should thank my family, especially my wife, for completely allowing me to my career and taking full charge of every family issues. Because I am totally forgetting my family and concentrating only on major issues. After the retirement only, I am helping her with vegetable cutting and cooking, everything. I am finding pleasure in it. So we have to, unless we are given a full freedom or full empowerment by the family people, it's very tough to manage with the career.
Very true. Without family support, very difficult to get success in life. That is,
Yes, yes.
yes.
Uh,
And now coming to the last part of my dialogue, Last but not the least, what your advice, guidance for the youth engineer? How to get success and how to move forward?
Yes, it's a very good thing. Actually, I can say that study starts after college. College is only for education. Study is totally different. You have to gain knowledge after the graduation only. You will be learning. So then only you will be starting your study in a particular field, which is you grab as many things. In the IT era, there are a lot of things. Informations are plenty, but you should not be confused with those all informations. But pick it up, which is suitable for you, and have your own innovation and enrich it with your own insights. Actually, I can say that intelligent quotient IQ alone is not sufficient. You concentrate on your PQ, that is your physical quotient, and importantly, the emotional quotient. Unless there is a fire within you, you can't achieve things. There should be an emotional quotient that will bring you to the heights. And more importantly, the spiritual quotient for a real success. Unless there is a spirituality or love towards nature, you can't come up, whatever, you can't be tuned to the correct positive ways of things. So that's what I would like to say. Our people is
I have already taken much
balance.
of your valuable time. And before I say thank you to you for accepting my invitation, and I would like to end with one beautiful quote: heroes are remembered and legends never die. And you are one of the legends, Maha legend, in fact. And thank you, sir. Vanakam once again. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste
Thank
ji.
you.
Namaste.
Namaste.
See you again. Bye, bye, bye.